Guys, before we start this video, two very quick things. We're going to be discussing exactly what it was that created Dylan Mulvaney. And number two, we're also going to be talking about how disrespectful it is to actual women. But also one more thing too, we're going to be providing a few channel updates as well, so make sure you guys stick around. Well, gang, it has been an interesting past week or so, especially with all the boycotting of Bud Light and, of course, the boycotting of Nike. Now, guys, I'm going to be rolling a few of the videos that were made involving Mulvaney here in the cutaway, and it's pretty awful that we've gotten to this point. Now, some of this, of course, came from Lauren Chen, who, by the way, follows him on Instagram and actually gets the videos from there. For whatever reason, I've not exactly figured out completely how to screen record everything on Instagram where it actually looks like it's an actual full-on screen record, except to get a lot of the stuff from Twitter. Now, the truth about Mulvaney is this right here, guys. Mulvaney at one point in time tried to do the whole social media thing through TikTok, and of course, he was just a good old-fashioned gay dude. Well, I guess the whole, let's just say, I guess that wasn't working out for him, so I guess he figured he would turn himself fully trans. Basically, the idea would be to act like a woman, do everything in the world that would be like a woman, dress like a woman, that sort of thing there. Obviously, very effeminate individual, especially looking at his actual body itself. He looks a little bit like a stick. So I guess the whole point here is, okay, the more feminine I look, the more and more I'll actually come off as an actual woman. Fact of the matter is that we have eyes and we can see, we have brains, we can obviously tell a difference. And even a lot of people who go out of their way to say, well, obviously Dylan's a woman, I think that they're doing that, going against their better judgment. Of course, I think that a lot of these people just are very miserable. Of course, I've told you guys on several occasions that most of the left is, in fact, pretty well miserable. And I personally believe that Dylan himself is obviously a person that is not happy either. Very low self-esteem. You got to ask yourself a question. What type of person does this sort of thing to get likes? What type of person does this? And I'm not talking about somebody here on YouTube who's talking into a camera or talking to a camera phone or makes content, who talks on a microphone. I'm talking about somebody who actually goes out of their way to dress up and act extremely feminine. Now, guys, I have seen people in my life that dress up like women or whatnot, claim to be trans, that are not anywhere like this at all. So it makes you think that maybe most of this is just a good old-fashioned grift, and obviously he's been platformed by the White House to kind of advocate for the whole trans agenda that's being placed on our kids. Now, me personally, like I've said before on several occasions, I could care less what you do behind closed doors. I don't care if you live a certain lifestyle, as long as you are not trying to corrupt kids and trying to throw that lifestyle in my face every 2 seconds to ruin my life and my day. I really and truly don't have an issue with you. Okay, but let's go ahead and get kind of caught up to steam here. I've actually done some videos here on the whole Bud Light ordeal, the boycott, and then, of course, Lauren Chen, she actually provided a few more updates as well. Let's go ahead and roll these. Be advised, there are obviously videos of Dylan here.
For some reason, the people at Bud Light think that Dylan Mulvaney is a good person to promote their product.
Hi! Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers! Go team! Whatever team you love, I love too.
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
So to be clear, the geniuses over at Bud Light think that the best way to get people to want to buy their beer is by having this man who's had surgery to try to look like a woman, but who still has very clear 5 o'clock shadow, hold their beverage while dancing in a bathtub wearing a bra, which, by the way, Dylan, life pro tip here, that's not how women actually take baths, and it's just very strange to see someone who doesn't have breasts wear a bralette. And to anyone saying, hey, Lauren, I think you just got fooled by some April Fool's prank. I doubt Bud actually tried to partner with this person. No, this is painfully real. So real, in fact, that on his social media, Dylan also posted this image showing a personalized can with his face on it. And the caption, this wasn't on my bingo board, but it's now my most prized possession, hashtag Bud Light partner. So obviously, in light of them just bowing down to the crazy trans agenda, I will advise all of you to stop buying Bud Light. But the thing is, I don't know who at this point is even buying Bud Light at all. Who is left to boycott this brand? Who is still supporting this beverage? I don't understand. And while I would love to say that Bud Light is an anomaly here,
what I didn't tell you was the videos of Dylan sitting inside a bathtub with a, I guess you could say a bra or a man's ear or something, whatever the hell a dude would call a bra for themselves. I mean, it's got me thinking about an episode of Seinfeld where George's dad and Kramer got into it about the man bra. They call it the man's ear, or the bro is what Kramer was calling it. Yeah, I know I'm reaching a little bit here, but we can't actually use those clips from Seinfeld, or else we're going to get a bit of a copyright. I thought about doing that, but then I remember the last time I used Seinfeld, I got a copyright claim. I don't really need that right now. Okay, so the thing is this right here. You got to ask yourself a question. What type of person takes advantage of social media and does this? Somebody's looking for very, very quick dopamine hits. Now, obviously, you're thinking money. Money is obviously a very, very big deal. Everybody's got to make it at some point in time. Some people chose to go online. They have a talent to talk into a microphone. Some people have a talent to make video content. For example, there's a lot of content creators that I watch that are not political that make very, very good content. One of those channels, of course, is Nexpo, Nick Crowley. They do mostly mysterious type things. Of course, I'm very, very big in that. I watch it. Bedtime stories is another. Some people have that kind of talent. But then again, though, you have those people like Dylan who've got to find some form of gimmick. And obviously, the gimmick that they're choosing to use is what? The trans gimmick. And of course, to go on top of this, you have your leftist leaders, your leftist politicians, your very, very neoliberal establishment, which, by the way, is also a neoconservative. But the establishment is the establishment. I'll just probably do another video on that another day. But the thing is right here, these people are being encouraged by a lot of other influencers to do this type of stuff. And of course, it affects our youth. It goes after our kids. It sends them a very bad message. Now, I want to go ahead and say this right quick. People with gender dysphoria, I've got nothing against them. I never have anything against them. But I think these people need to be getting help first and foremost. Maybe we should try to find out what's going on. Maybe we can actually correct it. And if you cannot correct it when they reach a certain age, if they want to actually get the transition or whatnot, then okay, that is their choice. If they're paying for it, okay. I don't believe the taxpayer should be paying for it. And I don't believe that parents should be paying for it either. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that it is their decision to do that. However, doing it at an extremely young age is extremely detrimental to your child. You're basically mutilating your kid at a very, very young age. And the only people that I really blame for that actually are the parents. The parents should be smart enough to know not to do that to their children, especially with everything that's coming out nowadays about what exactly is going on post-surgery. I mean, I have to bring up that S word, the S, the U, the I, and it ends with an E, which of course YouTube finds a way to kind of knock that type of content, even though you're bringing awareness to something that quite frankly is not good and quite frankly needs to stop. I have no idea why the Google gods put a suppression on that type of content. So, I mean, what I mean is they suppress certain words so that way it won't go through the algorithm. I don't understand why they do that. I thought YouTube was supposed to be a platform for good, but then again, at the same time, though, we're finding out we're finding out much, much more every day that Dr. Dave Jonda's assessment of YouTube is 100% correct. It's essentially YonTube. So, with that there being said, though, this is obviously a problem that we're going to be facing in the near future, especially when we deal with people like Dylan. Some people thought this entire thing was just a good old-fashioned fad. The whole trans thing would eventually go away. But apparently it has picked up. Now, let me say this really quick. Let's say that this stuff continues on, and it continues to get worse and worse and worse. What happens to those kids who transition at like 16, 17 years old, or God forbid, a lot younger? What happens to them when they're in their 20s? They have a lot of regret. You see, most people, and I mean this, most people out there are not paying attention to politics every day. Think about the guy who's working in a cubicle right now. Think about the guy who's at an office building and he is working just a regular 9-to-5 job. And one of these individuals comes into the workplace. And this guy right here could be somebody working in somewhere like, say, New York or whatnot. Just a guy who leaves and he just goes on about his business. I mean, for all you know, he votes freaking Democrat. Maybe he's a moderate lib. He just operates on what he sees in the mainstream media. And he sees this great big giant trans fad occur. And all of a sudden, a couple of people who are trans walk into the office. Guess what? He may get weirded out. He's got a couple of buddies, a few people here and there who may not know how to understand or accept this. And of course, as a result of this, the other person who may be trans, they may be thinking about this, saying to themselves, oh my God, what the hell have I done here? Now, I can already hear the leftists, the infected screaming in the comment section. That's just bigoted. Dude, people oftentimes have reactions to things that they do not understand because they may not see it, because maybe they're not as in tune with the mainstream. It's a mighty big risk when you have people go out there and try to transition. You have some very, very mighty big risk when people bring a certain lifestyle into the workplace. And of course, and like I said, I mean, obviously workplaces have people who are gay. I mean, I've worked with people who were gay before, not a problem there. But when you bring people in who are taking advantage, people like Dylan, for example, yes, this right could cause a problem. It's one of the main reasons why that community's SE rate is what we're going to call it. SUE, that's what we're calling it, SUIE. It's one of the main reasons why that rate is up. Anxiety, depression, fear, getting around other people who do not understand. The mere fact that you're kind of putting this on people, people will ultimately reject it because they do not obviously understand it, nor do they want it. That's part of how that rate goes up. People get ridiculed all the time, even if they don't exactly agree with the ideology or the wokeness that's going on. The fact of the matter is that most of these leftist content creators are actually putting these people more at risk when they say, be trans, be this, be that there, be who the hell you are. What you don't seem to realize is that you're actually opening them up to more scrutiny in places that may not be as in tune. Contrary to popular belief, some people vote based upon the conditions of what they see in front of their face. They may not see this individual. They may see something completely different. You see, what I'm saying is this right here. You're putting them in harm's way by doing this, by even encouraging it. As I have said before, the leftist platformers like Vosh and Destiny and all them, they think that they're doing good things with this community, but in reality, they're doing more to harm this community, because if that SUE rate goes up, then obviously these people are going to have a lot to answer for, but then again, though, they don't care about that. That's why I've told people that people like that do not care. They are not your friend. Okay, I've told the LGBT people in the LGBTQ community all the time, these white liberals are not your friends. I mean, Malcolm X figured it out a long time ago.
Game of power politics here in America. The Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal, and white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game.
Now, with all that being said, with what Dylan is doing, how exactly is this demeaning to women? Well, I came across this little snippet the other day. Pay very, very close attention to how these women respond to this guy.
Ian, she has 12 million followers, most of who are women who will buy this because she's been wearing it. That's what Nike see. They see 12 million followers, and and all she does is talk about positivity and fun and laughter, and that's what Nike want to get into.
It's not raising women.
It's not raising women.
It is.
The rest of Nike's Instagram feed are all cis white women, or just all cis women in general.
Hey, do not come into the studio and call me a cis woman. Otherwise, I would
call you a
eject-
cis woman.
Cis women, do not use that term. Otherwise, I will eject you from the chair. A woman is a woman. I don't want to hear that again from your mouth.
Yes, well, that is what the rest of their feed is. So it's nothing to do with it's something to do with her. It's like it's not her decision. It's Nike's decision, and she's just doing her job. So I mean, I think the attacks that she's had for it.
She looks like she's taking the total mickey out of a woman. Have you seen her prancing and acting the way she is on that post?
She's a comedian. That's what her videos are.
Cis women, cis male, that whole cis thing, it's extremely confusing. I mean, hell, you had Annika Sparin, of all people, come out and admit that she did not like being called a birthing person. She's a woman with an actual uterus, an actual real woman, even though she's got some metal in her nose. Yes, people are beginning to get tired of this, beginning to get fed up with it. They're starting to see this entire thing is going way too far. So in a lot of ways, social media and leftist influencers created people like Dylan Mulvaney. They're the same ones who are creating what the hell is going on now. I'm laying it at the feet of these people here who claim that they're helping that community out, but in reality, they're actually hurting that community. Don't be surprised if 5 years from now that SUE rate is not a lot higher than what it already is. YouTube, please do not strike this channel. I'm just simply talking about some things like certain statistics. By the way, I haven't actually said the word, so therefore YouTube kind of can't lay one on me. It's just a habit. Fact of the matter is this right here. You're doing more harm to these people, and you're doing more harm to people like you when you constantly promote this. It's bad enough that you're basically being promoted by Nike and now by Bud Light. I mean, it's bad enough that that is happening, but now you're taking advantage of just about everything in the world, not to mention the fact even our own White House, who, by the way, platformed you, yes, this is obviously a problem. So what created Dylan? Obviously social media. What made Dylan worse? Leftist content creators. Leftists out there who were screaming and hollering and be very, very pro-trans, when in reality the more they were doing was they were actually hurting and harming. I guarantee you if you confront one of the infected with this, they'll go absolutely crazy, and they'll probably turn into the more super infected, more super zombie that is in existence. However, it is important that we explore this. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video with some updates here. Now, guys, we're going to be doing a lot more videos on this content. Obviously, we're going to be coming at this from a much, much different perspective, a much, much different presentation. Hopefully, the idea is to get like video essays, projects out like at least once a week, probably on weekends. Hopefully, we can start doing that this week here. I've been kind of behind on it. Like, I'll write a script or whatnot, then not get back to it, lose complete train of thought. Also, something else, too, I removed that green chair back there. I'll be putting it in the bookcase over there, probably a smaller one. And we'll be doing that here in the near future. For right now, we're going to be doing 2 videos a day. If something is breaking, I'll try to throw a breaking news video, something out there. Like, for example, the Kentucky shooting, the Louisville shooting earlier today. I didn't really mention anything about that. By the way, by today, I meant yesterday, because today I'm filming this on Monday. I'm releasing this on Tuesday. I decided not to do anything about that because at the time the information was so conflicting. They said 4 dead. Well, actually, the initial reporting was 6 dead. Then it said 4. Then I saw one that said 8 dead, then like 8 dead, 9 injured, 6 dead, 9 injured, 4 dead. 9. I mean, it was too confusing, and I didn't want to come out here and give you guys bad information. I just didn't want to do that. But that's what we're going to be looking to do. It's just some very, very quick updates. Fact of the matter is, like I said before, social media has made this entire issue worse. Leftist content creators have made it a lot worse, and obviously these people have no idea of what they're actually doing. Guys, John Claymore here. If you guys like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sign up in the comment section. Remember, these people are here for the most part. They love to spread misery because they themselves are not happy, and they need the simple dopamine hits to just get through in life. Social justice warriors, piss off.